Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our Playermaker webinars. My name is James Grigson. Today, we're joined by Lord Individual Training, and here with us from Lord Individual Training is Akin Lord. Akin is the head of player development there. The Lord Individual Training is a training program ran out of the west of London. They offer individual training and small group trainings for young footballers to develop their football skills, and they utilize Playermaker to be able to select and find key performance indicators through the data and improve the athletes and get them ready as they develop through the age groups. So we've got Akin here who's going to talk through not only what Lord offer and their training programs, but how exactly they go about utilizing Playmaker with younger athletes sort of around U8s and developing all the way up into the teens, the development markers that they look at Lord Individual Training, and how they go about their training methodology in order to improve some of those key markers. So with that said, I'll hand it over to Akin. Thank you, mate, for coming on.
That's great. Thank you, James. For you all, this is a small intro into what we offer at Lord's Individual Training. The whole presentation is looking at individual player development. And as James mentioned earlier, my name is Akin Lord. I'm head of player development. At Lord's Individual Training, we are a multidisciplinary player development program where we offer individual support utilizing our 3Ps model, where we support players across pastoral, player, performance, or support. We aim to deliver outstanding experiences for individual players, utilizing a range of support from our key staff who are linked across sports science into performance analysis. And for us, we are really focused on supporting players across quality over quantity. So providing an outstanding experience for less players, which helps us to really get into those of support that we as a whole business offer into our individual players. We offer like 3 different types of sessions for a group of players, which are linking with individual position specific and group sessions. So again, it helps us attend into the needs of what support that individual player needs. And our support ranges from players from grassroots, academy football, and also players within a pro game. We've been using a Playmaker for the last 18 months. And for us, one of the most important aspects of using a Playmaker is that it does provide individual, technical, and physical player of analysis. So again, helps us delve into deeper stats and data. So when we do speak or do offer our support into individual players, we can offer both support, both what they do on the ball and also how it looks like in terms of their physical metrics. For us, when we work with a different range of stakeholders, one of the most important things for us is to ensure when we do use our data that is clean and interactive to share, and using a Playmaker, the range of different types of reports helps us achieve those aims. I've had past experiences for the last 4 years using Playmaker in my own full-time role, where I've used it at a Premier League, a Category 1 academy, where we used Playmaker across our under 12 into under 16 age groups. And for us as a new startup business within within Lord's Individual Training, it sets us apart from other player development programs where, one, I've had experiences using it for the last few years, and two, just the greater progress I've seen using our pods with our different range of individual players. But for us as a business, one of the most important things is that it allows us to maintain regular contact with players and parents through individual reports. And again, for us, it allows us to have constant communication and feedback, linking in with different parts of the MDT, where we can look to offer our support for those range of different types of players across the grassroots, academy, and the pro game. So just probably giving you guys more just an insight in terms of the 3 different types of sessions we offer. So our first set is individual sessions. It links in with 1 and 2 players. And the reason I say 2 players, because we can still achieve individual aims working with 2 players within 1 individual session. those types of whole sessions is looking at actually what a player needs and actually wants. And obviously we offer that support across, again, what I've mentioned earlier, our 3 different strands of the business across grassroots, academy, and the pro game. One of our most important aspects is that players get access into an individualized, multidiscipline program where they have access into staff that range from our different whole departments across the business. So we offer our support across coaching, analysis, education, medical, player care, recruitment, and sports science. And with the use of a Playermaker in the aspect which does include either sports science or actual medical, helps us again if we have, for example, we have a player who is returned from injury, actually how can we use our Playermaker data to actually look at some of the individual metrics that does offer our support into players, looking at it from a perspective as an actual coach, have I actually achieved the aims or outcomes for that individual session, but actually I can look at what we've done with that whole player. And again, for us, what we do linking really well with our MDT, because if it is a film session, we actually then create different sort of clips. Actually, we can look at what we've done for that whole player across a session. And one of the most important parts of why we use a Playermaker across the business is that within our program, we offer season-long support. So we can actually monitor their whole progress across either pre-season, in-season, or also during the off-season program too. Here's a small example of like what it looks like within in individual sessions. This is just a breakdown actually what we've done with a player in terms of when we had a film sessions, more just breaking down what that whole player done within that training session. So again, that's when we did all discuss earlier about how we link in with our MDT. One, this probably just gives you a breakdown of what they've done on the pitch. And as a coach, we just break down different parts of the training session in terms of what they have done really well, certain parts that they wanted to actually work on, have we hit their set outcomes. And then 2, on the right-hand side, you can see like a breakdown of their individual report, which has like a range of different types of metrics linking with technical and a physical summary. So here's just a breakdown of that individual session. And again, just looking at different types of metrics, especially obviously for us, what we're looking at is leg usage or total touches. And again, obviously, depending on the type of player in terms of what they are looking to work out, we do look at different physical metrics where we offer our support across a distance covered, high intensity distance, intense speed changes, look at a range of different types of XLD cells, and again, looking at their work rate in terms of meters per minute. And for us, when we're looking at it from either a individual focus, actually what they achieve within that one session, how can we break down that information across 3 or 4 sessions where we do look at actually, are we working towards our set aims and objectives for that individual player? Our next set of training sessions, we're looking at our positions specific, where we work with 3 to 6 players within one session. And again, for us, it's looking at how can we offer our support now across small group sessions. Because for us, we do aim to within a small group session offer different. We are looking to offer certain outcomes, actually different outcomes linked into where a player plays on the pitch. So we have a range of different we have a range of different players that play in different parts of the pitch. So again, might have within a small group session, a central midfielder, a right winger, a left back. How can we merge those individual players in terms of what they need, in terms of their individual roles on the pitch? So if you're a left back, we're looking at different types. So again, linking with the individual. 1v1 defending, you might have like a right winger who's looking to work on 1v1. Attacking, how can we merge those individual players in terms so they can actually all achieve their outcomes within that one training session. And then again, like a linking obviously with central defender, central midfielder. But again, for us, one of the most important aspects of why we do use a Playermaker within our small group sessions is that it offers us an individual report, again, linking it with the technical and physical of analysis. but allows us as a business also working with our players that we're with, but it compares reports against players in the same and similar playing positions. So on the next slide, as you can see, is a report with two players who are both central midfielders, as you can see on the off the arrow. And again, these two players were involved in the same training session, but even though they're two central midfielders, they have two different sets of needs and wants, what they wanted to achieve in a session. So a player on the left-hand side wanted to get a load of touches on the ball, receiving the ball on the half turn, which you can see is more a breakdown because they feel in their own environment, they probably don't get a chance to really practice receiving the ball on the half turn. Off the Bills, player on the right-hand side really wanted to work on looking at a switching play, using both their left foot and their right foot, so obviously for them to understand and assess when to play forward and when to switch the ball. So again, you've got two players work on two completely different things, but again, how can we achieve their own individual outcomes within the same training session? And again, probably looking at obviously just underneath, it's just more just a breakdown of their physical summary. So again, what I did explain earlier with the use of a range of different MDT staff, having access and use to a sports scientist within the sessions, we can actually then look to achieve certain physical metrics within the training session, and then that is agreed pre-session with either the individual, obviously what we're looking at, because we need to be aware of the physical loading. Obviously, one, what they do when they are working for us at Lit, also two, obviously what they are also is matched in terms of what they are doing within their own environments. Player A actually didn't have a game that week, so they had more of like a physical hit, where a player on the right hand side of player B actually had a game or having the game leading up into off that weekend, so to make sure that they wasn't as exposed physically, obviously in terms of their work rate and actually loading within the training session. So again, probably just for you guys, just probably see like a breakdown of same session, two players, same position, but again, different outcomes looking to attend within their individual needs and wants. And then, yeah, probably just our last like explanation is probably looking at what we do offer in terms of group sessions, because some players either want to train within a group environment, or two, probably are trying to get an extra team session outside of their own environment. So for us, a group session offers us to work within the individual, within a team environment. So what we do offer at Lord individual training is a strengths-based capability program. So looking at what a player can do rather than what they can't do, and how can we actually have that merge within a training session, which then attends into the needs of that individual within a larger group environment. So again, that allows us to offer a training program that does address individual needs. And within our players aged between 9 to 14s, we do offer them a games program that does allows for opportunities for the players to develop. But again, within these group sessions, within a grassroots environment, those boys have access into a games program and a training program. And again, with players that are a bit older, obviously looking to go, you're merging in between a semi-pro and the pro game, you're just giving them a chance to access extra training sessions outside of their environment as they see fit. But one of the most important benefits of why we use a Playermaker within our group sessions too, it actually does allow us to utilize a variety of individual reports. So within our weekly sessions, all players get access into the individual reports, as you have seen earlier. And again, just gives like a greater breakdown or a breadth of information across a range of players, where we do offer our group sessions between 6 to 12 players. Within our players, you obviously work across the 9 to 14 age groups. We have a second type of reports where we offered in terms of their game analysis. So a Playermaker offer different reports from what you've seen earlier in terms of individual games, where we're looking at same sort of physical and technical metrics, but again, it's more specific into what we're looking at in the game in terms of ball possessions. For example, we're looking at technical metrics, and they obviously have like a range of different types of short possessions or long possessions. So again, different breakdown, but again, helps us allow to really look at what our players are actually working on, both within the game environment, also the training session. And that just helps us allow, obviously, when we're looking at a 6-week report across the games and the training, how can we obviously get a breakdown that supports our individual players? And what we see on the next slide, probably more just information, actually how that looks like in practice. So as you can see on the screen, it's now a breakdown of the 6 weeks reports that we do get access to from a Playmaker. So just first part you can see, as actually highlighted, is a technical balance, where the reports do break down the players' leg touches on both their left and actually right sides. So this player, as you can see on the this player first worked for us 18 months ago, and they actually wanted to actually have a better. They wanted to actually work on more so their receiving and releasing on the right side. This player, as you can see on the screen, is a left winger, but they're very much left dominant, and they felt it was very predictable when they was looking to either create a chance or score a goal, and they thought that was very much left-sided. So you can see on the just underneath that, there's like a breakdown of their releasing leg and their receiving leg. So again, this is more for the first 6-week block, just asked to gain information about the player objectively, which helps we have the range of different types of data metrics. And then obviously for myself, subjectively, I was working with this player each week, which then allowed me just to get like a better idea of what I was actually working on, but also too linking in with video too. So actually having a range of different examples where we can actually merge it with coach's eye, what we've got from the video, and actually what can we see from the reports, and actually how can we break it down, how can we actually offer the improvement into that individual player. So we go on the next slide. So more so I can see now starting to now get like a slight shift towards their technical balance. So again, more just giving working different or constraints. When I say constraints, different rules within a practice, which allows a player to practice using both their left and right side, and then 2, actually how can we allow them opportunities to get success? Because again, what we do look at is what a player can do rather than what they can't do, but how can we facilitate the different rules or regulations in a practice that obviously helps support their individual player in terms of their next stage of their development. So again, as you can see, this is our report, which is after the first 6 weeks. And again, this is one of the most important things as well for us. And when we do work with the individual player, they felt actually that the report was a bit too complicated. So how can we break it down? So if you go back on the last slide, they had obviously the information about the total touches, distant covers, maximum speeds, both obviously when they are running, but also in terms of different types. Ball striking, obviously with their max release velocity, and again, they're different types, different whole metrics, and they just felt actually for them, they just probably wanted a more simplistic reports that gives like a greater idea and breakdown. So if you go again on the next slide, we actually did break it down again, looking at what the needs of that individual player was, actually how can we obviously give them a chance to kind of get more of an idea of actually what they're working on in terms of their individual metrics. But I think for us, one of the most important things is that was the initial improvement from their left and right foot initially, so just getting a greater idea of what a breakdown looks like, but then 2, looking at actually just the improvement from their releasing leg and also their receiving leg, which progressed from initial 11% into 37%, and again, just a success how they receive the ball both on their right and left foot. And then probably just our last one was again just more breaking down what it looks like from like a week to week. So this was again 6 weeks later, and for us, we look at a range of different types of metrics, but for a player looking at it, they can see the significant impact of the training sessions. They've seen it both obviously what we've worked on the pitch, and 2, obviously what it looks like in video. But the most important thing for us, again, using Playmaker, was the reports and just a breakdown of the technical balance, both on their left side and right side. But the most important thing for us was the breakdown, even though the players had the breakdown of using their left and right foot, or they seen the improvement in both their receiving and releasing leg. And for us, the significant difference from both the first work with them to when we are working now with the players, and that's starting to see the improvement in their own training program. And again, this helps us work within how we can support the individual within the team environment. So for us, just probably just giving the player more so one, they're seeing them improving both on the pitch because they're having more success using off the left foot and the right foot when they are looking to receive and release the ball. But the most important thing for us, which for us was a game changer, was a player having access into the data and they can see their improvement across a 4 or 5 month spell. So again, it's probably more just gives you guys an idea and the breakdown as one, what we do offer as a business across Lord individual training, and two, probably gives you guys an insight into why we use a Playermaker within our training sessions. So we really appreciate all your time and thank you for watching.
Thanks, Akin. I've got a quick question actually. So you said that you're, a lot of the training sessions and the analysis is obviously happening in-house and when the athletes are with you, but you also mentioned giving the athletes the units to be able to train externally with you and then have access to the data on the phone. How important is that to you? Like for younger athletes, obviously they're playing a lot of football at that age for different clubs or different environments, different academies. How important is that for you to be able to track what they're doing external to your training program in order to help them not only with their technical development, but also things like their physical development and load monitoring?
100%. So we have a range of individuals that we work across between like the 12 and 16 age bracket. So one of the most important things is us having access into a physical program. There's one, our players, as we know, are experiencing different rates of growth, and different boys have different levels of maturity. So for us, like, having access into that information helps us really tailor our individual programs for those players and recognizing actually what they're doing both of us. Obviously, we're both one with the club and obviously two externally off of us, ensuring that we don't increase the load too much. Obviously, they do experience either injuries or action niggles here and there, and all for us, just making sure that we support and facilitate what they do in their own environment. For one, because again, these individuals, all players who are a range of a few clubs, and that's different clubs. So obviously for us, we have to ensure that they don't just do too much, which means that they do break down, but we do offer just extra help and support. So obviously just more so helps them within their individual journeys.
That's awesome, mate. I want to thank you again. And also I didn't pick up Lord Individual Training spells lit. So mate, I'm sure the kids love that one, going to train at lit. So mate, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. For those that want to learn more about Playmaker, you can jump over to playmaker.com/teams. For those that want to learn more about Lord Individual Training, you can jump over onto their Instagram, Lord Individual Training, and other socials are there as well on the Instagram. For Akin, I'm James. Thank you for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day.